I worked for an accounting firm called BDO, and I was there for about 2.5 years. And I had gone there after several years working at the banks to really understand is more on the tax side of things, corporate planning, estate planning. And I felt that in some of those roles that I had previously, I didn't really have an opportunity to work with clients that have those sort of considerations, or at least complex enough that we would really spend a lot of time on. So that was why I went into that part of the industry. And it was a great learning opportunity. And I really, really loved it and wanted to expand on it and kind of do it for myself. So that's why I came to Objective, because I think with us, we can really kind of manage things the way that we feel we want to manage it, as long as we make sure that the clients, we meet their needs. I think that I like the fact there's a lot of flexibility on how we can work with people. I think it's really, really about the client in these engagements, because they come to us with often very specific questions, and that's what they want to focus on. And what I like about being a fee-only planner is we can focus on that. Obviously, in finance, a lot of items relate to each other, so you can't always look at a particular item like tax or investments in isolation, but at least what we can do is focus on the main areas. There's no what I call product noise in the background. So I don't have to worry about, okay, am I gonna sell them a credit card, or am I gonna look at some investments? It's really about focusing on why they're here to talk to us. The big difference between previous roles and this role is that I think the rapport building and knowing the client personally comes a bit later, because I think we really want to get to the meat and potatoes up front, because that's why they're here, right? And that's what they're compensating us for, is to really do the analysis and have those discussions about what they want to focus on. At the core, we just want to really understand what their sort of basic needs are, what kind of questions they want to focus on initially, and just really getting a little bit of understanding of why they came to us versus maybe other options. And that's where you actually start to uncover a lot about how the client thinks and what's important to them. And then once we kind of nail down the scope of what we're going to work on, then we really try and at least for me, try to build a better understanding of the client by not just going right into the plan and creating financial documents, projections, but really having an initial meeting after that intro to bridge between the introduction and when we review the plan to really go through their goals, their assumptions for the planning, any scenarios they might want to run. But rather than me kind of put the cart before the horse and look at all the documents and spit out a plan, I really look at documents in a methodical way, kind of go through each investment statement, insurance policy, tax return, whatever that might be. And then we have a discussion before I do any planning to really understand, okay, what's here? What do we have here? What's the history behind maybe having different investment advisors over the years, or rental properties, or kind of hear the client's story, the rationale for why they've done what they've done to this point. And then from there, we go into the planning. The peace of mind that the client's looking for, I think that's really at the core in that planning meeting. There's gonna be a lot to discuss. It's often a long meeting. But if I can give them a little bit of peace of mind as to either they made the right choice by talking to me, I've validated maybe that they can retire by a certain age in that meeting, but I really want them to have at least a takeaway in terms of, I've done the work, here's the answer, whether it be positive or negative, at least they know that they can move forward on some decisions at that point. No, I don't think everyone needs a plan, and that's what I'm very upfront about is, and this is, again, one of the reasons why people do come to our company is that they don't want to be told what they need. They want us to review and understand what's important to them, and then us assess what they need. So in some cases, clients have more sort of, it's not uncommon to have clients that know a lot more about certain topics than I do, because sometimes they're coming to me with 20, 30, or 40 years of financial experience. And what they really want me to do is be a second set of eyes or validation for what they've been doing for most of their lives, whether it be managing their own investments or budgeting every single month, for decades. Often we're peace of mind for them. So I'm not going to say that you need to, do a full retirement plan if you're already kind of there. If you just want to fine tune some things, understand maybe how to, look at your tax situation, your investment situation from a different angle, we can do that.